Hey everyone, it's absolutely great to be on here, and there's some exciting things that I want to share with you. Most of us who are diagnosed with a chronic condition or a dis-ease, we are given information about our doctor. We're given we're given information by our doctor about our different conditions, and then we're often given medications, right? So that's the typical practice when we have these situations. And oftentimes, what I've experienced is that once people have a diagnosis, they start to think about it. They might even feel some kind of way, maybe feel sad or frustrated or angry that it happened to them, and then they just follow the protocol of their doctor and they go down a path of treatment. And so, one of the things that I've been working on, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2004. By 2008, I had personally had enough of it, and I wasn't sure what to do. But I started taking action. I started doing some more exercise. I started to think about ways that I could get better. And I wasn't on the right path yet. And so, what ended up happening for me is I watched a movie. It's called The Secret. You may have heard of it before, but that movie I watched back in 2012. And in that movie, there was a gentleman by the name of Morris E. Goodman, and he almost passed away in a devastating single plane crash. And so all the doctors and nurses said, he's going to be a vegetable, he's never going to walk again, and that's going to be the life for him. And he was listening to this. All he could do was move his eyes and blink, but he just didn't think that that was his path for his future. So, what he did over the next 9 months is why they call him the miracle man. With his mind, whatever you want to say, prayer, all of the above. Within 9 months, he had put his body back together to the point that he was able to walk out of the hospital under his own power, and he could breathe again, even though he tore up his trachea and his diaphragm was messed up, et cetera, et cetera. So now Morris Goodman is a public speaker who travels the world, telling his story. So it was in that moment when I saw this story where I thought to myself, wow, your mind can heal your body. And I didn't know that was true. I hadn't had that belief yet. I've heard about miracles, I've heard about these things before. So what did I do? I was like, well, gosh, if Morris can do it, then I can do it. So I started focusing my mental energy on shrinking the lesions that the doctor said were on my brain from my MRI. I visualized my myelin sheath repairing itself, which is the sheath that goes along around your nerve endings to keep them protected. And one of the challenges in multiple sclerosis is sometimes there's a breakdown in that those impulses, and in my case, I was experiencing it from my head to my feet. So I started walking with a cane in 2009 because the signal from my brain to my feet was being interrupted. So I had something called foot drop. So when I'd pick my foot up, it would drop. So by 2010, I really started thinking more and more and more about how I can get well, and started to strengthen my feet a little bit. But it wasn't until 2012 when I saw the movie where I was really, really, really dialed in. And so I focused on my wellness. I focused on the belief that it was possible for me. And I continued to improve and kept doing research. And I found something called low dose naltrexone. Used that for about a year. That definitely helped me. And I kept working on strengthening my feet. And, I still walked with a cane from 2009 to 2015. And that's when I stopped walking with a cane. I've been medication free, 100% prescription medication free since 2012. Here I am 14 years later. So as far as I'm concerned, I've overcome multiple sclerosis, my disease. I still have some occasional symptoms, but I don't have any flare-ups or pain or consistent spasms or burning sensations or any of the other things and symptoms you've heard before. So the title of this video today or this event today is The Secret of Overcoming Disease, or Mindset and Belief, The Secret of Overcoming Disease. Until you believe that you can truly get well, sometimes disease and prognosis and diagnosis, it becomes part of your DNA. It becomes part of your identity. People start asking you how you're doing all the time. You start to focus a little bit more on how you're feeling, and if you're not feeling well, you tend to maybe complain about it a little bit, or somebody says, "Hey, how are you doing?" You're like, "Ah, I'm not doing too well. I'm having these burning sensations, or I'm having this other situation." So that's the first step, is that you have to believe in wellness, and that wellness is possible for you. And then once you believe that, then you have to go and look at what are the root causes of dis-ease. Dis-ease means your body is not at ease. God wants us to be well. Wellness is our birthright. It's one of those things that we should all have. And I believe that to the bottom of my heart. So what does that mean? What that means to me is, well, let's find out what root causes are. Well, I've done a lot of homework and a lot of research, and the root causes of most disease beyond stress, because that's one of the reasons you manifest a disease in the body temple, because something breaks down in your the way you look at life, how you think, feel, what you're saying, what you're doing. Those can all lead to disease or be contributing factors. And then if you get really granular, we all, especially pet owners, I understand 100% of pet owners have parasites, but parasites, worms, fungus, mold, heavy metals, there are a lot of things, environmental toxins, toxins in our food, air, water, and even the radiation from Wi-Fi. That all impacts our health on a regular basis. And then some of those things I just mentioned are part of the calcification of your pineal gland. So I don't want to get too deep into that now, and I'll do that another time. So first, believe that you can get well and that you can improve. Secondly, do the homework. Natural remedies, holistic medicine doctors. We've been naturally healing conditions for centuries, and then when the medical system kind of shifted to this synthetic, oil-based, petroleum-based medications back in the early 1900s with Rockefeller and DuPont and other people, where they said, wow, we're using oil for our vehicles, mean that we can use oil for medications and also make more money. And so the sick care system was born in the early 1900s, and that's all about diagnosis and treatment, diagnosis and prescription. And so here we are, flash forward to 2026, and that's still the way it's done. The great news is that there are more holistic medicine doctors, functional medicine doctors. There are more people doing research on these types of remedies. So in my particular situation, one of the things that I started doing about 3 years ago was intermittent fasting. Remember earlier I talked about your food. Well, there's a lot of ultra processed foods. There's foods that are sprayed with glyphosate or Roundup, especially our fruits and vegetables. So there's a number of toxins we're always taking in depending on what foods we're eating. So then I realized that If you can remove or delete as much of the ultra processed food as possible, try and clean your fruits and vegetables as much as possible. These are all things that can help you get on the path to wellness. So, intermittent fasting, just so you know, I only eat and have been doing this for 3 years, 1 to 2 meals a day between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. And because of the condition I'm in now, and I'm thin, I'm lean, I feel good, I certainly cheat. One of my favorite guilty pleasures is I eat dark chocolate, right? So that's just one of the things I do. But the most important thing to remember is that if you believe you can get well, and then you start doing the research and homework, parasite cleanse, heavy metal detox, the intermittent fasting. There are some people, if you really want to reset, if you're diagnosed with a chronic disease or even a terminal disease, if you go instantly on a 7 or 14 day water fast, your body after 17, 18 hours goes into something called autophagy. And autophagy is when your body starts to eat its own diseased cells, and it replenishes the body, it gets things going again. And so again, you use the belief, the mindset is step one. Intermittent fasting has been incredibly helpful for me. Even I've even done multi-day fasts, and it's kind of recharges the batteries. So I will be 60 years old in on July 10th, and I have more energy today than I did 20 years ago. So I am taking time out of my day, my schedule, my life to promote our self-healing tips Facebook group. I'm going to put the link to that group in the description of this video, and also share with you other information. I also mentioned the movie The Secret. One of the individuals in that movie, his name is Dr. Joe Vitale, a spiritual leader. He's been transforming lives worldwide to help people get back into alignment with their mind, body, and soul. So I'm in a full circle moment now in that I actually work for and with Dr. Joe Vitale. I am a zero limits transformation specialist. I speak with people all over the world about figuring out where they are in their life and then what they want to have, do, and be, and get them back into alignment with mind, body, and soul. So, dis-ease is when your body is not at ease, and it can be a number of factors. But once you get your mindset right and a focus on wellness and joy and gratitude and love, the change and the transformation in you is actually can be immeasurable. So I just wanted to let you know that you're loved, God loves you, the universe loves you, whatever that means for you. And then you just need to get back into alignment with what your divine nature is. We're on the earth for what I believe are three main reasons: is to serve our maker, God, the universe. Some people call it the great something. It really doesn't matter. But we're here to serve our higher power, our God, the God, our, whatever that means for you, whatever definition you have. I have a certain belief and faith myself. And so serve God, serve each other. We're supposed to be serving each other, not competing with each other. We're supposed to be collaborating. Collaboration is the key to unlimited abundance. And then the third thing is, why are you here? Find your divine purpose. Serve God, serve each other, and understand your divine purpose. So I understood and put my purpose into words about over 14 years ago. And then now I'm in a full circle moment. My self healing journey started with The Secret, and now I work for and with one of the stars of The Secret movie. So I don't think I've ever been this grateful, There's this excited and just full of joy because I'm impacting people around the world. I've brought people into our Zero Limits Living community from Poland, from Italy, from the UK, from across the United States, and other countries around the world, India and others. So I'm in a full circle moment where I'm exactly where I believe I'm supposed to be and just want to be adding value to other people, to their lives, to let them know that we are all unlimited interdimensional beings having a human or material experience. And what happens a lot of times in life, we get so caught up in the everyday routine of family and work and TV and our cell phones and distractions and all these things that are going on. And then we get separated from our divine nature. And we need to really get back to or focus on getting back to those basics for ourselves. And wellness is one of those things that sometimes people don't focus on, and then it starts to get away from them, and you really want to try and put that back together for yourself if that's what you wish. So now what I'm doing is I'm offering clearing and wellness sessions where we can get together one-on-one. The first one's always complimentary, but I just want to find out where you are. What are you thinking? And these are the four things as people we can really control, and that's our thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. So if you're not controlling those and they're controlling you, you may be in dis-ease or not at ease in your mind, your body, and your soul. And that's how dis-ease manifests, is that you're out of alignment with your divine nature. We're all healthy and should all be healthy, and there's a number of reasons for anything that takes us away from that. So you want to find a way to get back. I'm helping people find a way back to wellness, and it starts with faith. It starts with mindset. It starts with what you think, say, feel, and do on a daily basis. So it all comes together like that. And so I just want to let you know that I'm here to be of service. My divine purpose, I mentioned I figured this out when I was 45 years old. So I believe that the reason that I'm on the earth is to elevate, motivate, and educate people in my unique way as I help them on their journey or help you. I would love nothing more than to help you on your journey. So if you could tell, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm feeling very, very grateful. Obviously, I had that, above my head there, choose joy. Gratitude is the love of now. And here's something that's going to blow your mind. The past only exists in your mind, and it would be a great idea if you stop living there because it doesn't serve you. So, one of the things most people, or many people who get into depression or troubles with relationships or anything that's going on as far as emotionally, people are often living in the past. They haven't forgiven themselves for yesterday's mistakes. So they're angry, frustrated, or sad or depressed about their past. And then there's the other people who are really anxious about the future, what's going to happen, what's going to happen. And so the past and the future does not exist in reality. The past is gone, and it is past, and it can't be changed, and the future is never here. The future is what we talk about that's coming, but the only time that exists is now. And if you can be grateful, or gratitude is the love of now, and if you could really focus on being present, set your phone down, pay attention to those people you're interacting with, and enjoy each moment as if it were your last, because it could be. Nothing's promised to us. So I just really wanted to get on here and just tell you how grateful I am. I'm so excited to be working with and for Dr. Joe Vitale. We're actually meeting online tomorrow to talk about the possibility of expanding my role. Super grateful and excited for that. I feel 40. I have the energy of a 40-year-old. I remember back, probably even have more energy than I did when I was 40. I'll be 60 years young on July 10th, and just want to be of service to you from a place of love, joy, and gratitude. And just so you know, I see the divine in everyone, and I want to see it in you, and then I want you to see it in yourself. We all are beautiful creatures, and some things, some distractions, people, events, situations take us away from that nature, from being at zero and just flowing and things moving through the universe in a very profound and beautiful way. So I am going to put my email in here as well in the bottom of the description. But if you remember it, it's very simple. tom.b for black at joevitalecoaching.com. So Joe is Vitale is Vitale. So that's going to be in the description. How to join my self-healing group is going to be in the description in this video. And then I'm also going to give you the opportunity to set up a complimentary wellness session with me where we can kind of get to the basics of what's going on with you. And I could share some of the techniques and tips and things that I'm doing in my life. And then one of the things from a diet perspective, uh, I I don't eat pork. I rarely eat red meat. I do eat some chicken. I eat eggs, fruits, vegetables, a lot of those meals on a regular basis, but again, only eat once or twice a day. Now, when I cook a meal, I typically cook it in either avocado, olive oil, or coconut oil and butter. So that's when I'm cooking a meal. And then, depending on the type of meal, if it's a regular dinner, I'll put in black pepper, cayenne pepper, pink Himalayan salt, turmeric, oregano, and ginger. And if it's a sweet meal or dessert, I typically add cinnamon, ginger, and honey. And so all of those things are very, very beneficial. And the last thing I wanted to add is that if you want to do a parasite cleanse, I work closely with a friend of mine, Amber, who does create different tinctures. Right now, I just finished a 7 day parasite cleanse where I was taking colloidal silver, colloidal copper, uh, green walnut husk, cloves, and wormwood, and then zeolite as a binder. And it's just kind of to restart and reset your body. There are a number of other tinctures and other natural remedies, but I highly recommend that you do a parasite cleanse. That is the source and root cause of many conditions. The medical field, the sick care matrix, they do not share that with you. So anyway, that's what I'm here to share with you. Love to meet with you. I would love it if you would join our Facebook Self-Healing Tips group. Please feel free to reach out to me to set up a one-on-one. And then if you would like to start working on cleansing or detoxing your body, I can help you with that as well. So super excited to be able to get on here today and just share a little bit about my journey and how great that you can feel every day as soon as you start to believe that it's possible for you. So, namaste. I see the divine in you, everyone. I love you. I'm grateful that you're in my experience. I'm grateful for any eyes that are looking at this session now, this video that's going to be up on YouTube. and I hope you have an amazing day every single day. I'm also going to include my daily self-love practices in the video description, and I'll just run those down really quickly. I start the day off with a prayer. Thank you, gods, for another beautiful day in your amazing universe. Then I do sun gazing. I look out at the sun because it's so good for your eyes and your brain. I splash cold water on my face and my head, which is one of the reasons my hair is wet right now. And then I say, I love you 10 times to myself in the mirror and have some fun with it. It's going to be uncomfortable for you, especially you men. I love you. I love you, Tom. Hey, I love you. I love you. I love you. I say that 10 times and it feels great. And then make sure I put my feet in the grass. And this is going to sound strange, but even if you hug trees, there's source energy from the earth. Your feet in the grass, you get energy from the earth. And then another thing I do is I'll write three things that I'm grateful for in the morning, and then three intentions. What are my intentions for the day? I want to have a great experience, great conversations. And then visualize, what does your ideal day look like? Everything flowing, and just imagine in your head, what's that look like? And then feel it real. Have all the feelings of having a joyful, grateful, abundant uh, day without conflict, without stress, without anger. And you're setting this tone for your day. That doesn't mean things aren't going to go or may not go according to plan, but you're setting the stage for a beautiful day. So I'd be more than willing to share my daily self-love practices, because if you take care of yourself and you show yourself the love and appreciation you deserve, it radiates out into the universe and it affects everyone around you. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I look forward to doing what I can to add value to your wonderful life. Take care.